Hi, I'm Jamie Drake. I want to welcome you to my office, and today I'm going to share with you some tips on how I use color to infuse traditional spaces with a bold contemporary attitude. In the Southampton bedroom, I've used a lot of different glimmering and shiny materials to give it a sense of brightness and freshness in a traditional space. A silvered linen ceiling, a wall covering that's quite modern in essence but traditional in its coloration is finished with a pearlescent top coat. At the Kipspace Show House in 2009, I was given a very traditional room, but I used completely contemporary furniture. I think the most interesting thing to notice is how the artwork and accessories bring a whole other range of colors into the main scheme. It gives it a lot of vitality and excitement and a huge amount of personality. I think that your personal palette should be announced the minute you walk through the front door. In this apartment's foyer, the walls are a deep plum and there's multicolored striped artwork on the walls. The colors in those pieces of art then were brought into the powder room and painted as individual squares, ceiling, walls, everywhere. As you move into the living room beyond, the colors act more as accents, so there is a thread throughout the apartment, but it changes and mutates. Where do you find inspiration for your color story? Well, I think it can come from a variety of places. One of the ones that I often find it in is the world of fashion. In this bedroom and adjacent dressing room, fashion certainly was one of the great influences. I think it has a very Parisian European sense, these rooms, and the walls are sort of an orchid color. The cabinetry and the floor is a lavender tinged gray. It's wildly sophisticated, very feminine, and très chic. I'm a great believer in personality plus interior design. Rooms that really talk about who the inhabitant is. If you're a strong personality like so many of my clients are, you might have a penchant and a passion for strong possessions. In this dining room, we see a wildly exuberant chandelier, a very Baroque mirror, over-the-top candelabrum, and rather than saying, I better step back for a moment and be calm, I decided to meet them head-on. The bright orange pony skin doors on the buffet, the mango-colored upholstery on the Italian chairs, and then the rug with its silk cabochons in a variety of colors. They all really express who the client is. Color can be a great tool to take a traditional space that might be a bit stodgy and make it more modern. In this bathroom in a house in the Hamptons, I left the original panel moldings that date from the late 19th century, but I painted them out completely. They're all just covered in this beautiful, lush, light lavender shade, so it's spring and summer all year round. One of my favorite ways to get a bold statement is to take one color and use it throughout the room, but in a variety of textures. In this New York City bedroom, I've used yellow everywhere. It's a yellow with a tinge of red in it, so it has a wonderful vibrancy to it. There's silk shantung at the windows, eggshell paint on the walls and ceilings, a heavier woven silk on some of the upholstery. The trick to me is always to anchor it with some neutrals. In this case, we have ebonized wood, we have silvery gray, we have charcoal gray, and we have mahogany. Don't forget those woods, they are neutrals. I hate stagnancy, and I don't like stagnant rooms. I like rooms that have a lot of movement. Even a traditional room, you don't have to be stodgy and stand still. In this Connecticut library, I used a vibrant cherry red throughout the space, and as your eye moves from point to point of that color, you sort of connect the dots and your eye dances around the room. The cherry red is used in throw pillows, in lamps, in a wing chair that's almost like a line drawing, and as a secondary kind of movement point is the bright French blue lacquer that's the bookcases in these custom paneled walls that we designed. It's the same way the color is really even used in this presentation board, where you go from the bright spots here, here, to there. I was lucky. Growing up, I always knew what I wanted to do, and that was to be an interior designer. In Connecticut, where I was born, I had a backyard fort, and I was in charge of decorating in antiques, even at a very young age, such as 6 or 7. By the time I was 11, I was drawing these fabulous drawings, these incredible visions I had of eclectic interiors filled with color. The drawings that I did showed living rooms, bedrooms, all sorts of different rooms. They had an eclecticism to them, the kind of ideas that I still love today, where you bring in things from all over the place, different continents, different centuries, and mix them together. Often what the common thread is the color, or it might be the shape or the form. The way I use color today is very similar to the way I showed it in those drawings. I choose one color as the main theme for the room, then I add a secondary color to balance it, and then often throw in even a third one just to make it a little more volatile and exciting to spice it up and pump up the volume. Thank you for joining me. I hope you take away a rainbow of ideas about how to use color to infuse your traditional home to a whole new level.